what I wanted to work with was to touch a little bit in on the thoughts that come up. But in our remaining time, that's a bit of a stretch to kind of go in there. What I will just mention is something you can do that we can just play with a little bit, rather than going into all the details of how thought arises as image and talk and all that. And some of you already know that anyway. One way, we just worked with whatever sensation there was. And it may have been an emotion, it may have been a tangible sensation. When I did the images, that may or may not have caused feeling to arise. The talk component of the thinking process often has certain topics that revisit us again and again. We all have our topics. We may have our voices. I've got what I call my Mr. Bill voice, the one that goes, oh no, oh my God, oh no, I'm going to be late. You know, that that anxious worry that, oh my gosh, something's going to happen voice that I give it comic names. I do it with my students too, where they give them comic names because it kind of helps that, you know, he talked about that not identifying with it. Oh yeah, that's the Mr. Bill channel. So I have little names for the voices that tend to come up. I have my critical mother voice. Now, what were you thinking? You know, that kind of stuff. I have, what did I write down? I have my, my machismo voice. It's usually my, I can do this. I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. That's like when I'm in sweat lodge ceremonies and you think you're going to die and, you know, the steam's coming and I'm in the front row. No, I can do it. I can, you know, that, you know, which can be a very helpful, you know, athletes use it a lot. It can be very helpful. Now that I'm older, it can get me in a lot of trouble. The body doesn't always follow up on that voice's idea of what they can do. I had a man who I did a breakthrough pain workshop, and we worked with the thought process, and I like to tell this story. He was up for a kidney transplant, so he had some considerable pain, and he said, you know, the worst part wasn't the pain in the body, it was the voice coming up. And he said it was like, I'm going to get you. It was like this evil voice coming, I'm going to get you. It was this threatening voice. And I said, like what? Like what? He goes, it's like a gangster. And I said, what kind of gangster? Name me an actor. And he went, like James Cagney. And I said, you dirty rat. And he laughed. And so every time that voice came up, he'd say, you dirty rat. And during this whole rest of the retreat, it was a whole weekend retreat, he's just giggling the whole time. And he said, you know, I can work with the pain. Now I've got the very thing that was causing his suffering became the thing that was helping him work more easily with his pain, just by identifying the name of the voice. So one way of working with it is you could say, there's that voice, there's that voice, there's that voice. What I work with a lot too is topics. I have topics of the day, like, you know, our daily menu. Our special for today is, I have, now I'm working on this, I have a project for Shinzen. It's like, you know, the Shinzen topic, or the this topic, or the, you know, I have a class I teach some film directors, and there's always some, you know, the director drama of the day, you know, du jour, you know. And so I'll be involved in it and thinking of what to do, and then I just label it, that's my director du jour, or, you know, my this, and that helps me get a little bit of objectivity to it. The reason I'm bringing this up is this local global. Anytime you notice one of your topics, and I highly recommend naming them, whether it's the topic or the voice, whether you name it, I like to name them funny things, but you don't have to. You know, I've got a shame button that just comes up big time, like, oh my God, they know. You know, I'm like, everybody sees me and they know that, you know, I'm just, or whatever, you know, the self-judgment button or whatever it is. I like to call it shame. Like, you know, I think of it as like a movie title with the, you know, da-da-da-da, you know, that kind of thing. But identifying the buttons, but anytime one of those come up, you can think of those as flags. Dream, that's a flag. And every time you get one of those buttons, notice any body sensation that comes with it. Opportunity for local global, right? So you can do local global with shame. Cool. Good times. Right?